Hi, my name's Ken MacDonald and I'm DM Retail Support here at Waitrose in Ipswich. What that means as being a DM Retail Support is, in essence, I'm the Deputy Manager here with responsibility for all the foundations of getting the right people trained, legal, the right stock, right place, right time to allow the selling part, the retail part of the business to actually sell to our customers. So it's about putting in place those solid foundations that everything else is built on top of.
Do you feel there could be better communication between schools and businesses? Should more visits of this kind be organised to give insight to students?
I really enjoy this type of visit because it gives us a chance to actually interact with the community within which we trade, and that's at all levels. And bearing in mind that our partners of the future are those people who are currently in school, it's a great way for us to showcase what we do as an employer, both for potential employees but also potential shoppers of the future as well. We do lots of work with businesses to help businesses understand what we can do together for the benefit of the community as a whole within which we trade. So yeah, bring it on, more the better.
What standard GCSEs would you look for in advance for employing someone?
GCSEs give a very broad spectrum of experience and knowledge. What we look for is the attitude and aptitude of the people that we recruit. It's more important to us that people come ready to market themselves, demonstrate a broad level of knowledge, but also have that attitude that recognises that the workplace is a little different from education.
Do you feel younger people have the right preparation, knowledge and skills to go into the workplace?
It's a very general question because we have seen in recruiting for the branch here in Waitrose some absolutely fantastic potential partners. Together we've interviewed probably 1,500 partners, of which 350 have got jobs here. What we saw was some really outstanding candidates who'd taken responsibility themselves for showcasing what they can do, both in terms of their education and other things they've developed. I think within life there are some people who are going to go and get things and there are some people who aren't. Whether that's for the school to deliver or not, I think is a question for schools in terms of how they want to offer whatever help, support and guidance they may do. I think the important bit is that we talk with people about making students, making individuals employable and developing their employability. And that's as much about how you can add to your CV by developing perhaps what could be called CV Gold and demonstrating that you've done more to prepare yourself for that switch between academic life and working life, which, let's face it, is going to take you through the next 40 or 50 years.
Do you think that's enough careers advice is given to young people in order for them to go into the wide world?
It's a bit difficult because what we see are the people who've come to us. So by virtue of the fact that they have made that first step in contacting us and coming to us, they're saying, yeah, I want to be employed. How that happens, I think, comes in a number of different formats, and whether that's driven by advice they're getting in school or not, I don't know. What we do see is a remarkable difference in the standard of those approaches. A generic CV that says who I am, name and address, education, actually probably doesn't hack it in today's environment. It's about how you make your CV, your application absolutely stand out. But the other side of it is that all of our applications now come online. And that's important from a legal aspect as well, because at the point we're vetting those initial applications, we don't know anyone's name, sex, age, background or anything. So we are vetting somebody on absolutely the answers they put to the questions on the application form. And that means you've got to give it some real thought beforehand about who it is you want to work for, that you've done the research and that your answers meet the needs of any potential employee. And that's about the preparation. What we're looking for are people who have gone that extra mile to make themselves employable and understand the difference between being at school and being at work. And that being at work is something that there is no right to have. Students have a right to an education. The government will provide that education. Don't have a right to a job. You've got to fight for those good jobs against lots of other candidates who are all going to want those same positions. And GCSE results are a good grounding in the ability to take on board information, analyse that and present it back in a certain way. GCSEs will allow you to demonstrate that you have those basic aptitudes that are necessary for you to survive in a modern environment. The second bit about it, about the added value you bring and why somebody should be giving you the job, is the difference between taking two candidates who may both have 10 A stars but one of them will be a great partner and the other one might not, and that's the difference.
What do you think of the changes to the GCSE system?
You're asking the question of someone who, I suppose, sat my O-levels under the old scheme, where I understand exactly what it was to do 2 years' work and at the end of it pass or fail on a 3-hour exam. As someone who went through that, I thought it worked, because it worked for me and worked for my generation. As I've seen that change, and my son's now 21, so I've seen him go through the old new scheme, if you like, and I suppose I could see the benefits it brought to him. Horses for courses, I don't know which is going to be the best. At the end of the day, that's going to be proven in the long run. What worked for me were the exams at the end of 2 years, because I had no choice. It comes back to the bit that the thing we're not going to look at first is someone's exam results. They are merely an indication. What we're going to look at is how does that person prepare, present themselves during an interview, prepare themselves and how they behave during a group assessment. It's what you actually show that is the most important thing, because that's what's going to take you forward in your career. Once you're in a job, you don't have any more exams unless you want to go and develop yourself. It's therefore down to your behaviours, and what we're interested in are the behaviours. What the GCSEs for us may do is open that door a little bit wider than perhaps some other people. So it's giving you that basic grounding that enables you to understand how you can present yourself, how you complete your application form, to be numerically literate as well. So it's there, it's the open door.
When you were in education, did you feel prepared to leave? Did you know what you wanted to do?
I was really lucky because I knew exactly where I was going before I completed the first year of the sixth form, and that's that I had applied to join Lloyds Bank, was accepted, chose to stay for another year of the sixth form to just push forward my GCSE results a little bit, because it enabled me to miss out some banking exams later on. But I knew exactly where I was going and what I wanted to do and why. And for me, that was because I loved working with people and I like numbers. I think numbers are sexy. So for me, I knew where I was going and had a really successful career within retail banking.
How do you help your employees to develop their skills?
Okay. There's a basic premise, and that premise works under my performance. And the key word there is my. It's about creating the culture within which people recognise if they take responsibility for their performance, we will help and support that in every which way we can, whether that's providing resource, coaching, mentoring, time to go and do it. The important bit is developing the hunger in people to want to develop themselves. That's absolutely key. We can preach to a whole load of people in one room, but it may only meet the needs of half of those people. If you're doing something that's bespoke to your needs and you're driving it, it will absolutely deliver a better outcome for you.
How important, compared to qualification, is someone's personality?
It's your personality that's going to drive your success in the future. It's your personality that allows you to interact with customers and fellow partners alike. It's absolutely the secret for your ongoing success. Your personality is what drives you. If you don't have a personality, if you don't have that drive, you're not going to get there. It's not necessarily the strongest individual personality. Some people's personalities are so big they overpower. What we're looking for are people who have the basic confidence to be able to put themselves in a position of being uncomfortable, of stretching themselves. But what we're also looking for are those people who can demonstrate they have empathy with those people who are doing the presentation, who look uncomfortable, and who through the non-verbal, through the body language, are giving those people the encouragement and saying well done to them when they're finished, and the round of applause.
If an employee has aspirations to continue into further education, how will you help them? We
have within the John Lewis Partnership, within Waitrose, a scheme where if somebody wants to study in further education, go away and learn a new skill, we will pay them up to £250 a year, half of their tuition and residential costs for furthering themselves.
Thank you.